This is the Flathead Valley Sports Haven, a brand new segment where I focus on current and former Flathead Valley area players, coaches, and sports figures, highlighting the best athletics the Valley has to offer. I'm your host, Cole Havens, and today in studio I have the former commissioner of the Frontier Conference, Kent Paulson. Kent, first and foremost, thanks for joining me here today.
Oh, you bet, Cole. It's a real honor, and thank you for the invitation. A former Whitefish High School student when I was involved with Whitefish High School, days that both of us can look back on very favorably, and certainly have followed your career. And we've talked actually before when you were at other radio stations, and just know that we're real proud of you.
Well, thank you. Hey, let's actually start with your time at Whitefish. You were 14 years at Whitefish High School, 9 as a vice principal, 5 as a principal. You obviously have coached sports, but your time at Whitefish, a lot of front office type of roles, but then also official type of roles as well. Take me through, what do you remember most about your time being at Whitefish High School?
Well, I think first and foremost, I knew I was joining a quality school system. I'd done my homework. I'd watched from afar. My wife is a Columbia Falls native, graduate of Columbia Falls High School, so we had the opportunity to spend some time in the Valley, and Whitefish was always one of those schools that you looked at. You looked at the marvelous education opportunities, the graduates, certainly the test scores. And, as a family person, you're always looking at where would be a great place for your children to go to school. I'm very, very pleased that I was able to be in quality school systems from the get-go. When I was a student in Northeast Montana, went to a very small school, but received a tremendous education, was well prepared for college. I'm a graduate of Montana Western. At the time I went there, it was Western Montana College in Dillon. Smaller school, which probably was fitting for me since my high school was very, very small. But received my bachelor's and master's degrees from there. And then I spent 20 years plus in the Great Falls school system. And I always told my students there was more kids in my science class at C.M. Russell High School than we had in my high school. And that was just one class. So I graduated from a Class C school. I'm now teaching in a large AA school at C.M. Russell High School. And just held a number of different positions in the academic piece. As far as the teaching role, I was involved with health and physical education as well as science. I did some guidance counseling. So when I came into the role as assistant principal, yes, the administration piece was new, but I'd seen the inside of a classroom. And I think that was really, really helpful, beneficial to me in the sense that I thought like a teacher. I knew what went on with students and their education, and tried to always look at situations through the eyes of the teacher, certainly, and the students. And one of the biggest compliments that I continue to get from past students is that we didn't always agree with you, but you were very much respected, and you are always fair. And I think that fairness piece, and also the family piece that I've tried to always, when I'm in an organization, I might be leading that organization in the sense of being an administrator or a commissioner, but I always tried to bring that piece to the people that I was working with. Is we are a family. It's an academic family. It's an athletic family. And that's it served me well. I hope it served the people that I had the honor of working with well. And again, getting to see in the Valley now, some of our students are 30, 40 years old, and they've now got children in our school systems. And so we continue to live in Whitefish, and I'm extremely proud of the Whitefish school system. Certainly, you're a product of that, and I'm really, really pleased at what goes on in our Valley. We've got some quality schools, and looking at the days of my 14 years as the commissioner of the Frontier Conference, it's a Montana-based conference, even though we're in other states, certainly with the institutions. saw a lot of our Flathead Valley student athletes as members of our various sport teams.
Before I get into the Frontier Conference component, I want to ask about, again, time at Whitefish. Take me through, do you have a favorite memory or something stands out about whether it was something that you accomplished or helped put together or helped establish? What's maybe one like core memory that you have about your time at the Whitefish School District?
Well, first and foremost, we just had a blue ribbon lineup of teachers. As I walked the halls, I just every day was struck by the excellence that our students were receiving in terms of instruction. I always used to tell our student government, I tell any group that I spoke of, to me, again, having been in different sized institutions, both as a student and as a teacher, I always said that Whitefish High School was big enough, but yet it was small enough. And I really think that's a real key piece to that. The enrollment today is similar, I think, probably to what it was. I think my high water mark as principal, we were at about 750 students. I think they maybe aren't quite there now. It fluctuates certainly, but it was a big enough school where we could be very creative in our scheduling. We could meet the curricular needs of our students. We put out a good product. And we should all be very, very proud of that. And proof's in the pudding. I mean, we've got some wonderful people that have chosen to return to the Flathead Valley and lend their expertise. They now have children in our schools, but I'd always tell people that were coming to the valley, shopping, looking around. I said, you really can't go wrong here because it's a win-win situation, and it's big enough for us to have a variety of offerings, but yet it's small enough that we actually know your student, and that was really rewarding on graduation day to see the students that I had been involved with for 4 years, and knowing that they'd had terrific teachers all the way up from Muldown to Whitefish Middle School and on into the high school.
And then you've also obviously a big sports guy as well. I know you coached basketball and track at Troy and CM Russell. You were a big component of the Montana Officials Association, basketball manager, track official. You were always the one shooting off the gun when I was running track. Do you have a favorite athletic memory maybe about your time as an official in the area?
Yeah, I got into basketball officiating actually, Cole, when I was a student at Western. I played basketball at Western Montana College, as we were known as in those days, and had an instructor, George Marinkovich, that his whole thing is that for you as a player to better understand the game, you really should officiate it. And so took officiating classes. Whenever our schedules worked out, worked some freshman games, worked some JV games, became a member of the Montana Officials Association, and that piece as a sidebar, I was heavily involved in developing our officials pools at the collegiate level when I was the commissioner, and so again, sometimes you can't understand something unless you've been part of it before, whether it be a teacher in the classroom and now administrator or a game official. And I just, when we moved to Great Falls, then I was coaching, but I also officiated, did some varsity games in the smaller towns around Great Falls. And I just felt like I was a better coach. I was a basketball coach for 25 years at the high school level, and felt like I was a better coach because I understood what was going on out there with the people that were in charge of officiating the game. I didn't always agree with them, but I had a deeper appreciation as to what it took to be a quality official.
Do you have a favorite memory as maybe an official or a coach? You've officiated so much too. Do you have an event that maybe stands out that you were able to officiate, or an event that stands out that you were able to coach, whether it was a state tournament, a state track meet, whatever it may be?
Well, as an assistant coach at CM Russell High School, and this now is back in the 70s and early 80s, I sat on the bench the first 4 years of me being an assistant at CMR. We played in the state championship. And sometimes when it comes so easy, it's almost an expectation that, we're going to be there. and yet we all know that it's not easy to climb that mountain, and also to maintain that. As a head coach, my best team, we one year played in the state consolation championship, but I just think again it was the whole collective thought back of getting to coach, some quality kids. I had a team at CMR one year where some names you'll recognize. Dave Dickinson was my point guard. And
not a bad point guard to have.
Yeah. Ryan Leaf was my off guard. We had Eric Madsen, who pitched for Notre Dame. We had Jeff Jaroszewski, who played offensive tackle for Oregon. We had John Knutson, who started at middle linebacker for the University of Colorado.
That's not a bad lineup right there.
And quality kids. It was a joy. And so, again, being around great athletes, I coached a little freshman football, and, being around some kids that went on and played collegiately. Tony Caldwell, running back for Wyoming. That was a piece at CMR that was so interesting. Is Riverview kids are like Whitefish kids. They're ballers. There's a sand lot. There's a game going on in an empty field. Reminded me a lot of those kids. And then we also got the base kids from Malmstrom Air Force Base, and those kids, many of them were just they were big time athletes. Reggie Barnett played basketball, football, Oklahoma State. And it was fun to look back and see, that you had a part, in their development. All positive. I will tell people that a huge part of my week at Whitefish High School certainly was academics by day, but I never missed an athletic contest or a music concert or a school play. The extracurriculars was something that it was not work for me. I truly enjoyed that part of the day as well, and people have asked me, and I know we're going to get to the Frontier Conference, but they've asked me, what was the thing that drew you to a job like this? And I always said I got to take the best things out of my academic and athletic years at the high school, and I got to mold it together into a job. And not many people get to finish their career with doing something that they truly enjoy, because you're doing everything that you enjoyed doing, in previous jobs.
Yeah, let's go right into it. So you've been an official, you've been a coach, you've been a teacher, you've been a principal, you've had a career just doing all that, and then you say, okay, well, let's head to the Frontier Conference and be the commissioner for 14 years. I mean, you have many, obviously, highlights. Some of the just key ones that I wrote down was conference expansion. You helped get webcasting of events up and going. You ended your term increasing sponsorships. You solidified, you got media days going, and then also scholarships. I mean, it seems like you left the Frontier Conference in a better place than where you found it, which is usually what you're taught to do. But I mean, take me through just what was that like? What was it like being a part of a great just program of the NAIA and being a part of that Frontier Conference, especially now that we have so many Montana schools that are a part of it?
Cole, it was literally clean out my desk and lock the office door at Whitefish High School on a Friday in June, and July 1, a week later, I was fortunate enough to be named the commissioner of the Frontier Conference, and again, it was a pleasure. Obviously, it did not seem like work to me, because I was in an element where, yes, I needed to learn a little bit more about athletic administration at the collegiate level, but overall, I had done many of the things at a different level, at the high school level, certainly. It was a case of I love the job to the point where I'm proud to say that I'm the longest tenured commissioner that the Frontier Conference has ever had.
That's crazy.
And when I reached my 14th year, I went by a guy that most Montanans will recognize, Sonny Holland. Sonny Holland, the great football player at Montana State University and coach. Sonny, actually, my freshman year at Western Montana College in Dillon, he came as the head football coach. I took a psychology class from him, a motivating football coach and a terrific teacher. And we had the honor of bestowing the highest award that the Frontier Conference gives, is the Swede Kennison Award, named after the third commissioner of the Frontier Conference, who was a 12-year veteran in the job. And but Sonny Holland was named the second recipient of the Swede Kennison Award. The first recipient, rightfully so, was his widow, Barb. Barb and I, over the years, exchanged many transitional types of thoughts as to where are we going with this league and where's it been. And so, yeah, the growth of the league certainly was imperative. Every agenda that I ever put together, every meeting dealt with how do we keep the Frontier Conference strong. Membership is a key ingredient to that, and I'm just so pleased to have been part of the pre-planning to get us to where we are today. And Dr. Scott Crawford succeeded me as the present commissioner now. He was a commissioner from a collegiate league down in Kansas. So he and I worked on committees together at the national level. He hasn't missed a beat, and he's taken that conference now and put in place what we had been working on prior, and this expansion of growth, bringing in quality institutions, and then he like you, he's got a little bit of a media side to him, and he's really grown. For you listeners out there, if you get on the Frontier Conference website, they do a thing where you're doing the podcast. Rocky Erickson, a longtime sports announcer in Montana, he does a Wednesday podcast that's devoted to the Frontier Conference, and he's kind of doing the same thing. He's picking guests that have played an integral part in that conference in this case, and so we applaud you. I mean, podcasts are the way of the world now, and you're going to be featuring people from the Valley. You're going to elevate athletics awareness, and how many of the people that have Flathead County roots that have gone on and played some role and some part in the athletics and academics of our schools.
My little way of giving back, you could say. And before we close out, how about give an update to the folks of what you're up to now? Obviously, you're retired, but you still live here in Whitefish, obviously. Take me through just kind of this journey in general and what it's like to, in a sense, be able to now kind of sit back and just look back on everything.
Yeah, when we came to Whitefish in 1995, my wife, again, was a native of the Valley, but she hadn't been here for many years as we had lived elsewhere, but she was from Columbia Falls, and we built a home in Whitefish in 96, the year after we came, and I said to Joan, my wife, I said, I think we've hit a home run here. Let's plan on putting some roots down. Two of our children, Krista, graduated in 97, and Kurt, our youngest one, graduated in 2001, and they're proud Bulldogs. Our older son, Cale, he graduated actually from Troy High School. He was actually on our sophomore team at CMR, and then his junior and senior year, he had the privilege of getting to play with his cousin and other great young men. We had 2 fun years, and I know it was very fun for him. He was an all-state Class B player and got a terrific education there as well. And so as we look back, we've been in the Valley now 30 years. This is the longest we've ever been in any one spot. And it's home, absolutely. I'm from the other corner of the state. I'm from the northeast corner, North Dakota, Canada, and now we're Canada, Idaho. But we, you've said it before. We've tried to be good citizens of the Valley. Tried to promote in our own way, doing some volunteerism in our retirement. I worked for 50 years. My last year, actually, in December of, I guess it would have been 23, when I stepped away as a commissioner, I'd been in education for 50 years, and a lot of great memories as we've talked about today. And so we get around. We're blessed. We have 10 grandchildren. The kids are starting to come now into that age of playing sports, of course, and hopefully being good students. We range from age 3 to age 21. We've got our oldest grandson's going to be a junior in college. We recently, this last spring, we had a granddaughter. Our oldest granddaughter graduated from high school. So grandkids, spoil them, hand them back, just like mom. And we find time to hit a golf course. My wife's very involved with volunteering, and again, a pleasure to get asked to be on one of your earlier podcasts. I really appreciate that, Cole.
Thank you for coming on. And quickly, before we sign off, football season's around the corner. Give me an idea. What do you see from Whitefish High School football? You think it's going to be a good year? Because I've based on what I'm hearing, expectations are high.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't want it any other way. The Bulldogs are a proud group, and gosh. You know, you look back and you talked about memories. I mean, we were competitive across the board, every sport, and certainly soccer as of late has just tore it up. And we're always there. We're the team that no one wants to play, and for good reason. And I just think that from what I'm hearing as well, I'm kind of at the 30,000 foot level now. I'm not as involved in knowing the personnel, but I'm hearing the same thing. I think it's going to be competitive. We'll be listening to you on the radio and catching a game in person like we like to do, and just a pleasure to hear that voice bringing us Bulldog Sports. Cole, you do a great job.
Hey, thank you for coming on. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, and enjoy retirement, and yeah, it was a pleasure to be able to catch up and do this.
You bet, and big shout out to all the good folks in the Flathead Valley. Thank you.